This is George McCaslin, coming to you from my home at the Indian Meadows Nursing Center. I am the online moderator for the Dad's House Educational Center, found at www.dads-house.org. Today we will be reviewing the chapter on visitation and access rights in the Dad's House Manual. In today's society, nearly half of children are born to single mothers. Combine this with the high rate of divorce, and a parent, usually the father, ends up on the outside looking in, wondering what is happening with his children. His access to them is limited and controlled, whether by the courts or by the mother. For this reason, access rights need to be defined clearly to avoid later issues arising as to whether a certain day, weekend, or holiday belongs to one parent or the other. We begin here with what parents need to discuss on access rights. From there, we move down to appropriate behavior of the parents to limit stress on the children. Next is developing a visitation schedule, followed by the rights of non-custodial parents and meeting transportation needs of the child as regards access rights. Next is a sample visitation schedule for those who live less than 100 miles apart, and one for those who live more than 100 miles apart. That is followed by the general terms and conditions that can be applied to the access schedule. Next we come to grandparent access rights and what is needed to address this. The next article in the chapter addresses the problems of denial of access rights. On this note, an attorney is not needed to enforce court-ordered access rights. As a part of the 1988 Child Support Enforcement Act, states receive $10 million a year in grants to run expedited enforcement programs that do not require the need of an attorney. In Kansas, one need only go to the clerk of the court for the forms, which can be filed and the other parent served by registered mail. A hearing is held in less than 30 days from the filing date, with no attorneys allowed for either side. A note on this: while one may want to use this procedure, if the other parent is held in contempt, that is grounds for an immediate change of custody, which would necessitate an attorney. Using this procedure would mean waiting to file the custody motion at a later date instead of at the time the judge made the ruling. Whether one wished to file pro se or use an attorney, there are procedures that first should be undertaken. By doing this, you are showing the court that you made every effort to resolve the issue without the involvement of the court. With that, there are certain initial steps, which include the keeping of a daily journal, which you learn about in the Getting Started chapter of the Dad's House Manual. Next is intent to deny access, and what you should be doing to remind the other parent of the court's ruling in this regard, which can be used as evidence in court. From there we come to proving denial of access, on what to be doing when you go to pick up the children expecting to be denied access, and how to use that as evidence. Of course, what you say when going to the door to get your children is important. So next we have sample statements to make at the door to avoid possible problems. In reference to all this are links to sample legal notices in PDF file format, which cover notice of intent letter, notice of intent official notice, notice of denial to exercise parental rights, notice of exercise of parental rights, and motion to show cause for denial of access. Next, we address an issue that relates to the problems of children being alienated and, of course, teens who put a greater priority on spending time with friends than a parent. Child refusing to see other parent addresses this issue and the misconceptions most people have that there is a legal age short of the age of majority where they are allowed to make this choice. Of course, often the other parent will say that the evidence of the child, most specifically a small child, not wanting to see the other parent, is separation anxiety, when the child screams when the father tries to take him or her. However, in this final article, faking separation anxiety via child abuse, this is addressed and shows how easy it can be to cause the child to act this way. This is a review of the Visitation and Access Rights chapter of the Dad's House Manual. Take the time to study all the material found in the manual, for only through knowledge do we gain power over our lives. Naturally, this material is available for anyone to use, regardless of what group you are a member of, if any group. However, if you have not already done so, consider joining Dad's House to discuss these issues with other fathers and learn from each other's experiences. There is no cost to join and use our materials. Also check out our sister group, the Second Wife Club for Stepmothers.